We have been convinced for a long time that our hair doesn't grow. We're breaking it down so much. It doesn't even have an opportunity to thrive, even if it wanted to, because my hair has thrived over the past 20 years. So I'm going to tell you what I did that hopefully has helped me to have healthy hair. The main thing I have done is
I'm Celestine from this channel Natural 2020, and today we're going to be discussing Priscilla Shirer. Now, she is a woman of God. She is a preacher of the word. She loves Jesus, but we're not going to be talking about that today. No, today we're going to be discussing her natural hair routine and how she got to waist length, long, natural hair. And one thing I want you to be aware of is sometimes there is a blueprint. There is a blueprint and a way that things can be done, a plan that works for almost everybody. Now, this same blueprint is the same blueprint that Indigenous strands used, 20-second natural hair. Who else? Fairy Fro Mother, Janet Davies. I'm telling you, so many people have used this same blueprint to grow their hair from short to absolutely long down their back, or some of them down their bum. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We're going to take a look at Priscilla Shirer's routine and find out exactly what she did so that we can literally follow a very, very similar routine and get very, very similar results. Okay, before we get into her hair growth routine, let's find out what Priscilla has to say about why she feels that some women don't experience or don't see longer hair.
So a lot of times, again, we've seen a lot of women that have curly textured hair, particularly Black women with short hair. We have been convinced for a long time that our hair doesn't grow, that our hair can't grow. But really it's a lot of it was that we were breaking it down so much and putting such harsh chemicals on it that it doesn't even have an opportunity. It doesn't even have an opportunity to thrive, even if it wanted to.
Priscilla is sharing some absolute gems right here. Oh my gosh. Black women thought that their hair couldn't grow any longer because we ourselves were literally breaking it down to the point that it couldn't grow. Like, that is so key. And I believe it's true. When we're putting so much chemicals on our hair and all of that, and just not treating it in a way that it's supposed to be treated, no wonder it's not growing. It's crazy that we've bought into the lie that, hair has to be straight, hair has to be slick, and all of that. It has to be gelled back, all of that, because all of those practices, and I'm talking about in excess, I'm not just talking about as a one-off or occasionally, but in excess, when we're doing that every single day to our hair, straightening it, gelling it, slicking it back, putting it in really tight styles, putting chemicals on it every day, no wonder our hair is not growing to its full potential. Many of you are probably thinking that Priscilla had this long, thick hair all her life. It's just genetics. But let's talk a little bit about her journey. At 12 or 13 years old is when her hair was relaxed, and she added chemical to her hair, as many of us did when we were younger. And she had her hair relaxed until she was 24. So you're talking about 12 years or so. Now, at some point when she became 24, she noticed she had a circular patch of hair that was totally missing. So let's find out what she did.
Right under here, when I was 24 years old, again, I had a circular patch of hair that was only about this long. It had broken off. I went to my doctor because I assumed it was the medication that I was on. And I said, I think the medicine you might have put me on, this might not be the one for me. I might have to get on another one because I can see something's going on with my hair. She saw that the bulb of the root was on each one of the hairs she had pulled out. So she could see that the root was fine on each of the hairs. So she said, Priscilla, I don't think that there's anything wrong with your hair. She said, I can see that they're not breaking off. They're coming out by the root. I'm looking at your follicles, your roots, and I can see that your roots are actually strong. So she said, what that tells me is that it's not something that's going on inside of your body. It's actually something you're doing to your hair once it comes out of your body. She looked back at me and she said, what do you do to your hair after it comes out of your head? That's what she said. In other words, the way God is growing the hair is fine. It's what you're doing to it after it comes out of your head.
I really love this point, and it makes me think of people who believe that long hair growth is only genetics. And yeah, like thick hair is all to do with genes, only to do with genes, should I say. It makes me want to ask them this question. When your hair grows out of your head, what are you then doing with it? Because like Priscilla said in the video so well, so perfectly, God is growing that hair perfectly to your scalp, right? But what is it that we're doing to our hair when it grows out of our scalp? Now, of course, this is not referring to those who have maybe certain conditions or maybe vitamin deficiencies or whatever it is, things like that. But for the most part, there's something that we're doing to our hair when it grows out of our head. And if we can stop that, if we can change how we handle our hair as it's growing out of our head, then that's how we're going to start to see long hair like Priscilla, thick hair like Priscilla. Come on now. Before we begin the journey of hair growth, it is really important and really helpful to get a few things straight in our minds, and this is one of them.
You can become very frustrated because you really actually still aren't enjoying your hair. You're trying to get your hair to do what you see on her hair on your social media feed. So follow those people, celebrate those people, enjoy what they do have to teach you, but don't get wrapped up in the fact that my hair gonna do that. Because no, her hair texture, not your hair. Honey, you a 4C, she's a 3C. It's not gonna work out the same on your hair as it does on hers, and that's okay.
Listen, I don't need to do the preaching because Priscilla is the preacher, right? But there is a scripture that lets us know that to compare ourselves among ourselves and to measure ourselves by ourselves is not wise. So it's not wisdom for me to look at somebody else's hair and compare mine to the point that I'm thinking, how comes her hair's looking better than mine? How comes her hair's looking like this? How comes her hair is this texture? How come her hair does that curly wavy thing and mine doesn't? Listen, that's unhealthy, especially in the beginning of your journey. I recently released a video about growing your hair out from TWA. I'll link it above for you. And I really think it's important, particularly at that stage of growth, when we're just beginning to see what our hair is capable of. And I think at that stage, it's really important to not compare, to not expect something of our hair that our hair isn't created to do, right? It's about just acknowledging this is how God has created my hair. Yes, my hair may not look like sister down the road. It may not look like auntie up there, so right? But this is how God has created my hair. Now, how am I going to take care of what God has given me? Okay, now that we've developed a bit of a foundation, we've understood that it's important not to stunt our own hair growth. We've learned how our hair is growing out of our scalp perfectly fine, but sometimes it's what we're doing to it after that is the problem. And we've also learned not to compare our hair or our hair type with somebody else because that just breeds dissatisfaction and discontentment. Okay, so with all of that being said, let's find out some of the actual tips that Priscilla shares as to how she grew her hair to waist length.
All right, so I'm going to tell you what I did that hopefully has helped me to have healthy hair, because my hair has thrived over the past 20 years. It's thrived. The main thing I have done is that I have not had chemicals in my hair for 21 years now. I don't get texturizers. I don't get relaxers. And I'll tell you, my hair is straight right now, and I'll tell you why in a second. But I don't get relaxers, nothing. I don't put no chemicals on my hair. About 10 years into having natural hair, I did get I got some color. I thought I was going to try some color. It was a natural color that was supposed to be less harsh. And I got that color. It was just a light brown highlights. My hair was dry, brittle. I could tell that it was going to make my hair break off some more. So I grew that off and was done with that. That's the last time I ever even tried any chemicals in my hair. I'm just letting it be.
Interesting one. Interesting. So, tip number one was absolutely no chemicals. Now, I can imagine for some of you watching that may be a bit challenging. And a clip that I didn't show is Priscilla actually shared herself that initially, this thought was very challenging for her too. When her doctor first suggested maybe take a few months off that chemical, that relaxer, Priscilla was like, "What? Are you okay?" kind of thing. So we get it. It's not easy, but to be fair, if you're really, really focused on growing your hair long, then this probably is going to be something massive that is going to help you. Again, another thing I love, and it's a clip that I didn't show, is Priscilla actually shared that God revealed to her that if she gave her hair back to the Lord, He would give it back to her in an astounding way. And we can see the absolute results of that. So maybe that might be the same for you. It may be that cutting out using chemicals in your hair is one way for you to give it back to the Creator. And He's going to give it back to you in an astounding way. Now let's find out what is tip number two.
The second thing that I did that over the years helped me the most, and this is going to be the hardest for many people who want healthy hair, but you like styling your hair in certain ways. I'm going to tell you, this is just for me. For the first 5 years of having natural hair, I did not put any heat in my hair. Not a blow dryer, not a curling iron, not a hot comb, not a nothing. I didn't put any heat in my hair.
Yikes. 5 years with no heat. Okay, that is aggressive length retention. Let me tell you that. Because honestly, I didn't do that. I did use the blow dryer in the start of my journey. But again, too much heat on our hair is something that is going to impact our length retention. So, what can we do instead of blow drying or straightening our hair? All right, Priscilla is going to explain to us how she did it. So, let's call this tip number three.
So my hair was growing out from a very short place. I used to get, at the beginning, I got either wore it just in its afro or I got comb coils. Comb coils are when a stylist will take a comb, she puts a little gel on a small portion of your hair and she coils it around and you just have a little curl. By the time I got to the 6-month mark, I had about 3 inches of hair or so. So at 3 inches of hair, what I could do was wash it and 2-strand twist sections of it, okay? So by the time I got to about 6 months, my hair was about that long and I started twisting and I would twist it while it was wet, just like this, all the way down. And at the time, I only had about this much of it. I would twist it and I'd let it dry and all these twists over my head. And then after it was completely dry, which is kind of the key, you got to let it completely dry. Then I would let those twists out all over my head and I would have a cute little curly afro that was about this long all over my head. I wore it that way for a very long time.
That's brilliant. So when she was at that TWA stage, she was using comb curls, comb coils, whatever you call them. And then she tended to use twist outs. So what did she do after that as it got longer? Let's find out.
Then after about a year or and a half, 2 years, my hair started to get longer and my twists, because my hair was longer, I started making my twists smaller. So now instead of big chunks of twists that I was going to take out, I would have my stylist do my hair in twists again, but she'd do them nice and small. And those twists would hang down all over my head as it grew out, okay? So they would be here. Then as my hair got longer, my twists would be here. Then my hair got longer and my twists would be here, okay? So those twists would stay in my hair for about 4 to 6 weeks at a time. All right. So for 4 to 6 weeks, I would not comb my hair, wash my hair, because it was in the twists. So for the past 15 years of ministry, a lot of people maybe you have even noticed that you've seen my hair in those twists a lot. And it'll be up in a ball on top of my head, and my hair is in those 2-strand twists all over my head. I've worn my hair like that so much for years now because it is what is called a protective style.
All right. Okay. Okay. What stands out for me is the fact that she opted for twists. I'm not biased or anything. But honestly, I do see this style in so many women who have long natural hair. A lot of them do opt to wear twists. Now, it's not to say that there aren't other protective styles that don't help to grow our hair long. There are, but twists is just one of those common styles that you see in a lot of women with long hair. And something that I kind of want to ask is, if it ain't broke, why are we trying to fix it? All right, so she's explained the importance of wearing protective styles. So if you are planning to grow your hair longer, then what should be your goal? What are some of the things that you need to consider when you are choosing a protective style that's right for you?
My goal was to grow my hair out in the most healthy way. So for me, I found a style that even though at the beginning of it, it wasn't my favorite style, what it did was allow me to leave my hair alone for 4 weeks at a time at least. And then after about 4 weeks of those small twists being in my hair, I'd take the twists out and my hair would have kind of basically been molded into a wavy kind of curly style. So most of what you've seen of me of the past 15 years has been either in the twists, or I took the twist out and my hair was all curly, and I'd wear it that way for about a week. Then I'd go back, wash my hair, comb it out, condition it real good, put it back in the twists, and I'm done for another 4 weeks.
A key thing that I'm hearing in protective styling is it's important to be consistent, and also it's important to keep your hair tucked away. That really helps so that you don't have to mess with your hair every day. Typically, my hair is usually in a bun of some kind, maybe behind here, tucked away like this, or it could be kind of on top of my head in a bun here. But usually I will have it, tucked away. I don't tend to leave my hair out as it is now. And we're calling that tip number 4. It's to put your hair away. But let's find out why. Ladies, my hair used to be stuck at shoulder length. I could literally never get it past there. But as you can see, my hair has grown past that shoulder length plateau. It's now on its way to waist length. You can see it's getting longer and longer. And listen, I believe there are 8 key things that I did consistently over the past few years that have helped me to get past that shoulder length plateau. So if you're feeling like you're kind of stuck at a length, it feels like your hair stopped growing, it feels like my hair is never, ever, ever going to get any longer than this, then these are the 8 tips that you're going to need. So head to the link in the description box of this video because I'm giving away those 8 tips for absolutely free straight to your inbox. And when you begin to implement these, you're going to see your hair starting to get longer and longer and longer. I'm so excited for you. But for now, let's hear from Priscilla.
So the more your hair, like I don't wear my hair out like this, and I'll tell you about this in a moment, but I don't wear my hair out like this often at all. And the reason why is because as our hair is exposed to the elements and as our hair has to be combed when it's in a style like this one, that over time, not just 1 month, not just 2 months, but over time, if you're constantly wearing your hair out and it's exposed to the elements and those sorts of things, it's going to be damaging to our curly textured hair.
Okay, this is tip number 5, and it's all about how hairstylists have detangled her hair, and also how you too may benefit from detangling your hair in a similar way. So let's hear how Priscilla explains it.
They'll get a section about like this big. And before they ever put a comb on it, they have to pull it apart at the roots in particular. Get it all pulled apart with their fingers before they start going through it gingerly with a comb.
I absolutely agree with this, and it's something that I do with my hair as well. I will never put a comb or brush straight into my hair without having finger detangled it first. There are too many knots, too many tangles for me to go in with a hair tool and think that the tool is going to detangle my hair without actually ripping it away. A lot of the times, that tool can be ripping our hair out and damaging it and causing more split ends. So we do want to be very careful. We want to finger detangle before we use any hair tools. Now, the last thing we're going to hear from Priscilla is why she decided to start using a blow dryer after those first 5 years were up. And maybe this last tip, tip number 6, may benefit you if you're someone who has very tangled roots. Let's take a listen.
The reason why I blow it out, the main reason I blow it out before I do twists, is because when my hair is wet and dries on itself, it gets so tightly coiled in my roots that it is actually more damaging for me to let it dry on itself like that, because it's like Velcro trying to pull it apart when it's time to redo it. It starts to lock and become like dreadlocks. And so since I'm not locking it, which by the way is another great option for you if you want sister locks, dreadlocks, those are options. But anyway, it literally locks on itself. So when I blow it out, that at least relaxes it enough that when I twist it, it will enable it not to be so tightly coiled upon itself, which might tear it when I have to pull it apart. Hope that makes sense.
We've heard from Priscilla what she has done to grow her hair long all the way down to her waist. Now it's time to take action. So from this video, you've received tips straight from Priscilla's mouth as to what she did to grow her hair down to waist length. I've even given you access to my 8 tips on how to get past bra strap length. And now the rest is up to you. If you got all the way to the end of this video, I want you to comment down below and let me know what was the tip that resonated with you the most.
That's what I've done with my hair. I have put it in protective stylings. I've washed it, combed it out, moisturized it, and then had it styled in a protective styling. The one that I found for me was twists. So I've worn twists at every stage, whether it was this long, this long, this long, this long, or this long. I've worn it in twists most of the year. And then I take it out for a week or two, then I get it twisted back up.